This is the visual still drum I created earlier. So if you're interested in music or you like to develop yours, it's an example that you can build on and maybe develop something much better. Okay, I think this is very, very good. Okay, and for those of you who are into Flash as well, I've also developed something very similar in Flash. So this is in visualbasic.net. So the next part of this tutorial will just show you how this project was completed. Okay, now let's go to visualbasic.net. This visualbasic.net steel drummer project, the first thing I'm going to do now is let me develop an invisible button. So I will create a transparent button. Okay, this transparent button will be used in my application. So let's start now. Well, as you can see up there, I call it transparent button. So the next thing I'll do is right click and add a window form onto this button. So add the form. So back in the class, I'll start by naming this class trans button. Okay. But let me first of all import system drawing. Okay, that's imported onto the system right away. So now I'm going to inherit the following. Inherit windows dot form dot buttons. No, sorry about that. It's got to be you button. Then let me say public sub new, open and close a parentheses there, and let's say meter size equals new point. Let's make that maybe 24 by 24. Okay, then I need me dot flat style equals windows dot form dot flat style. Okay, and that will be flat. Okay, let me just close this. And the next thing I'm going to do now is let me get my background image layout. Okay, equals windows dot form dot image layout dot let's refresh it. Yeah, that's correct. Then me dot back color equals system dot drawing dot color, and let's make that transparent. Yep. So getting somewhere. Okay, let me follow this with my, sorry, that'll be flat appearance dot border size. I just make that 0. The default is always 1 though. So, and the next thing will be me dot color. I'll say equals system. The system should draw something for me. Make that gray. Okay. Let's close this for just for now. I'm just gonna close that for now. Alright, so the next thing is let me get me. Sorry about that. Undo. Me that transparent. Let's get the mouse down back color. Make that system. Let's make that system transparent. Just copy all of those. Let's copy that and dump it there. And followed by, and I need the mouse over, so I change this to mouse over. Me dot mouse over back. Make that transparent as well. Now I've got all my properties ready, so I'm now going to save this. This is my DLL file. This DLL file will actually generate a transparent button that I intend to use for my visual steel drums. Okay, so I'm going to put this code somewhere so that you guys can have a good look at it. Right. So I'm going to save that. Right. So that's saved now. So all I'm going to do next is to go to build and rebuild. Maybe let's just do it one more time. Okay. So what will happen is that we generate the DLL file that I need. Okay. Now that I'm finished saving, in here is the transparent button that I've created. If you go into the bin right here and debug, okay, that's my DLL file. Can you guys see that? Okay, that's the file that I actually need for this project. So I'm going to close that. Closed. I will now close this. I believe I've finished with this. So what I then need is my Visual Basic development environment. Okay. So let's save this as the steel drum. So that's the name of this project. This will be my main form. So I will save this form right maybe on the desktop or somewhere. Let me just go there, save. Okay, I'm gonna save it just here. Yeah, that's fine. So why that is saving? Because I need a background. So let me create a background quick. I think I'll do that maybe in Flash or any of these PaintShop Pro. Well, I'm inside Flash right now, so I will select my oval tool. Let's change that to oval, and maybe use a radian as the color I intend to use. The background will be, let me say this white for now, which I'll delete later on, and just draw a circle, and maybe double click on that and try to change the appearance. Okay, I'll now change the size of this. So let me sort of like speed it up. I have in total 18 of these buttons, so let me now draw a circle around it and do some adjustment to these drawings. So I'll come in here, select the oval tool. Okay, let me say about, let's make that about 4. Just put it right there, and let's draw to cover all of this. Yeah, I think I have enough there to make my buttons. That's good. Okay, so what I'll do now is to double click on all of these and cut off the edges that I don't need. So I'll go to File, I'll go to my selection tool, double click on that, and just delete the ones that I don't need. But for now, let me double click on this and get rid of maybe the strobe lines. Yeah, that's gone. Let's see how it looks. Okay, not too bad. Undo again. Okay, now I'm just gonna get rid of all of these edges for my visual steel drum that I'll be creating in Visual Basic. But the next thing I'm going to do now is just to enter the different keys here. So here's the end result of my image. That's the image I intend to embed into my Visual Basic application. So paste it in Paint and embed it into my system right away. Okay, let me just save this. Maybe okay, back to my Visual Basic development environment. So let me set the size of my form to about 630 by maybe 560. Okay, that's about right. So let's now go into our background. Yeah, there we are. Now I will now import my image, the one I developed in Flash. I call it iDrum, which means image of the drum. Okay, there we go. And here's my image. So there might be a problem. You may have repeating images. Let's set it to none. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, the most difficult part is done. So what is left now is just to now go to Tools and go to Data Set right here. Right click on Data Set, select, choose Items. Okay, so I will now browse. Let me browse to where I've saved my transparent button. So I believe it's right here. There it is. Double click on transparent button. Now double click on bin, debug, and there is our DLL file. Open. Just remember the name and click on OK. That's our DLL file right there. So we can look for it, which is, that means it's right here. So you can just draw it. Okay, that's one. That's it right there. Just waiting for it to respond. Now that's my first DLL file right there. That's my first button right there. You can see it's transparent, so it's more useful than me using the image component or the button. So I feel what I've done, I think it's much better this way. So all I just need to do now is scroll right down, double click on the text, delete. You can see the text content is gone, so all I only have now is just a plain transparent background. So I can give this a name. I can just call it CQ1, CQ button 1. Okay, so maybe take off that button. So CQ button. All right, so I'll repeat the same thing for the rest button, but there's something that needs to be done right now. Okay, what we need to do right now is, let me go into the project, select my steel drum property, come into resources. What I intend to do now is to embed the audio files. So click on audio, go to add resources, add existing files. So now browse to wherever I have my sound files. Okay, all I just need to do is select all, open, and you get them right here. And those are my files. So you see them? They are all WAV file extensions. Okay, so I am fully ready now to get my system running. So all that is left to do for me now is to double click on the C sharp. I believe that's what it's called. Double click on it. That's my button right there. So I will now say my computer dot audio dot play, open a bracket, inside my resources, okay, dot C sharp, and that's it right there. Okay, and I'll say comma audio play mode background. Okay, audio play mode background. Double click on that, close that bracket, and that is it. That's all there is to it. Now the program is ready. Let's just try it out, and you guys will just hear how this plays, and just take it from there. So run the program now. That's the program. So what I just need to do is click on the C sharp. Can you hear that? Okay. So the rest. So all that is left to do is to copy the same line of code and change the file type. Back on my system, back on the form right here, just to be on a safe side, I think maybe I'll just lock up that particular component, come to lock, and set that to true, so that I don't end up moving it around. So go back to the tools, okay, click on the trans button, then that's for C. Okay, so that's my button C. Change the name, C button, come right down, delete, and let's go to lock, get it locked, double click on it. Instead of me typing out all of those, just copy, paste, change the file name to C. That's it right there. Done. Run the program. Can you hear that? Right. Very, very similar to steel drum, the way it sounds. Okay, I'm just going to repeat exactly the same process for the rest 16 buttons. Well, if I press Ctrl A, you can see I've actually inserted all of the invisible buttons. I've actually added invisible buttons to all of the named keys. Okay, so what's left now is just to write a couple of just one line of code, and that will be all. Okay, so let me start. So double click on D, paste, change the name to D1. That's the name of the file. Back to my double click on E. It's faster and it's easier this way. Okay, the hard work is done. All that is left is just a copy and paste procedure. And because of the naming, the naming is sort of like consistent, so I know which tone actually goes with which button. So as a G drum. Okay, so I'll just speed this up. Okay, fellows, and that's the end of this program now. So I'm just testing it to make sure it works as expected. Those of you who are good in music, you'll be able to confirm if the tunes rhymes or not. So the code is very easy, and I believe you all will enjoy this tutorial. Okay. Right. See, it's just repetition of the same thing. The only difference is I've actually created a DLL file, which you guys see earlier on. But I will enter both the DLL code and this very line of codes. I will enter it into my SkyDrive area so that you guys can have a look at it. Okay, so thanks for watching. Bye.